Well, got all the valves set. They're never off on this car. I tell you what, and for all you guys that are wondering, this is still the 582 I've got in here. So we're gonna have to be really careful this weekend not to go into the 9s, because I'm not kidding you, man. They sent me home for a 998 on a Friday up there once. And this car, with a good tune in it, it likes to run 970s, 980s all day long in any weather. But I usually pull about 6 degrees of timing out of it. And it's been a long time since I had a fresh, really good tune. And, you know, we're taking a chance here too, because I have to apologize. I know I told you I was going to put the correct engine back in and go make a few passes, but I've had some family stuff going on, nothing bad or anything, but I've just been way too busy to do the engine swap, and hopefully the rods will stay in this thing for another weekend, or maybe even another season. We'll see how things go, I don't know. But yeah, this engine, it's been in here for, oh gosh, 8 years. This will be the 8th season. I've run this 7 seasons, and I mean, like I say, I was going around in SE1. I was, you know, in the semifinals almost, and it's a big car count. You know, the muscle car series, there'll be 400 or 500 cars up there this weekend, and you know, there's usually anywhere between 80, 60. You know, if it rains or something, sometimes it gets down to 60, but it'll be up over 100 cars if it's nice weather up there. And so yeah, I've got a lot of passes on this engine. I mean, 8 years is kind of unheard of for you know, an 800 plus horsepower engine. You're not really supposed to do that. I don't recommend it, but it's a testament to how well this thing was built and the good parts that are in it. You know, I usually say about 300 passes usually is when I like to freshen about an 800 horsepower engine. But you know, and then the freshening means rod bearings, lifters, valve springs, that type of just a quick once over. But I just haven't had time, and famous last words, you know what I mean? Hopefully this thing will hang together for another weekend or two. But just an idea of how tight everything is on these Corvettes. Nothing is fast and nothing is easy. You can take the alternator off. I mean, just to get the valve covers off this car takes me about 20 minutes. I mean, it's not a real fun car to work on, but it does work nice on the track. I mean, you know, I understand the NHRA rules. I totally understand, you know, especially on a muscle car weekend. We're all up there just supposed to be having fun. We don't want anyone risking, you know, getting hurt or anything. And it's totally understandable. But this car, you know, I've had a million Camaros, Mustangs, Novas, especially the Mustangs. I mean, there's something called the perception of speed, and I used to race sport bikes too, you know, Ninjas, GSXRs, and that's what you've got with a car like this. You know, like with my old Mustangs and stuff, 140 miles an hour felt like the end of the world. I mean, you were white knuckling it. But this car, it feels like you're going 70 miles an hour down the freeway when you're doing 140. I mean, it is not a dangerous car to operate. It never wheelies, it never gets loose, it never does anything weird at all. It just hooks and goes straight down the track. It's a boring car to watch. If you watch some of the videos, it just doesn't look like it's doing much until you see the scoreboard. And that's the kind of race car you want. I mean, you don't see any top fuel dragsters or funny cars or anything that do big wheelies and come down bouncing and the front end diving up and down all the way down the track. You don't see that because they've got the technology ironed out to where the car just leaves. And that's what this thing does. It's a safe car, but I understand the rule. You got to have the same rule for everybody. And I totally understand it, but we're gonna have to be careful. It's gonna try to go faster. You know, I mean, I have some techniques I hate to give away for slowing it down and staying consistent, and we'll stay legal up there and have fun. But this is what I deal with every time I work on this car. It is a cluster. I mean, it's a crazy car to work on. See what I got going here is actually I have a 5-point bar in here, and then when we drive it on the street, I just pull that bolt out of there, a grade 8 bolt, and take the door bar out. And it's still got that ugly old hoop for you know, when we take the roof off. Now it looks kind of dumb with that, but someday when I'm done with this drag race and stuff, I bent this bar up myself and welded it all in there, and there's a GoPro I plan on using. I'll cut it all back out. You know, it's just well, it's 5 points on the frame and the cross member, and then it'll come out of there nice and clean, and then I'll buy a new carpet set for the car, and she'll be all back to normal. They make me have these big ugly harnesses too, you know, and it's all for a reason. It's to keep me safe, but it's kind of cool how they have these knockouts in the seats. You know, I'll have to buy a new insert there for my seat when I put it back, and it works really nice. This car is made to race.